Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. And this is Tristan. He's a Corgi. And we're here for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And today we're continuing our discussion about the chakras and how they relate to your pet's health and well-being. And today we are talking about the base chakra, which is orange on my flag. And you can see that it has a special symbol and a different type of lotus flower than the first one, which only had 4 petals. And the base chakra is sometimes called the abdominal chakra. For some people it's confusing between the root chakra and the base chakra because they both sound like they're at the end of the line. I always like to think of the root chakra because of its connections to the legs as like the roots of a tree, and you need the roots before you need your base of support. So that's how I remember the difference. And this is the second chakra. It has a 6-petaled lotus flower, and it is associated with the sound VAM, V-A-M. And then if you were going to repeat that as a mantra, you would put your hand in the area of this chakra, and you could feel the vibrations through your body. And this is associated with the sexual organs and sexual vitality. And so it's between your navel and your pubic bone, really at the base of your body. And so for our dogs and cats, it's right here below the sacrum, between the sacrum and the tail. And it does include the sacrum, actually. So it's been associated with the sexual organs, which of course is associated with creativity. I know that when I was writing my book, I've read tons of people that have said writing a book is like giving birth, and it is really like giving birth. And so that idea of creative energy has long been tied to the idea of sexual energy and reproduction. And so many people will say that writing a book is like giving birth. The same with a piece of art or dancing or drawing or any type of art that you're creating. It's located at the root of the sexual organs and then along the beginning of the spine, and it relates to your solar plexus, which is the next one above it. And it's been associated with water, with the element water, and all of these chakras have an association with an element, and there's 7 chakras that we'll be talking about, and it'll be interesting to see, since there are only 5 elements in Chinese medicine, what are those other 2 elements. But the second chakra is associated with water. And it's also associated with the sense of taste. And then prana, which is your breath. And you can, in yoga, do several different breathing exercises to increase your breath. And you are encouraged to breathe all the way down through your body to reach the area of the second chakra when you're doing yogic breathing. It's been connected to the emotional self, and the affirmation for the second chakra is I feel, because it is related to your emotions again. Its personality types are extroverted and happy, and we can see that in the color orange, and associated with joy and resourcefulness and removing your inhibitions and limitations. So if you are feeling limited, you might want to work with the color orange and with the second chakra. It gives energy to help with breathing, and it's been associated with the spleen, the kidney, the gallbladder, and it recharges the etheric body, your auras. And a few of the chakras in particular are noted for recharging your etheric bodies, and this is one of them because of the vitality of that color orange. The day of the week is Wednesday. That's associated with the chakra, and it's associated with the crystal carnelian, which I have a little one of here that you can see. It's a beautiful orange color. And to that end, it's also been associated with the essential oils of Melissa, which smells very kind of strangely floral, and of course orange. And here I have some Melissa and some orange. Whoops, you can't really see the front of that one. And then I also, because of the scent of orange, have an orange here, because the second chakra is associated with an orange. And it's interesting that oranges are the sexual reproductive areas of a plant, and so it's part of what we see with the second chakra. Come back, little orange. The second chakra has also been associated with the prostate gland. Oops, come back. Tristan, we're sitting on, there we go, the sound. And the ovaries, and it's been associated with the moon. And we see the idea of two united as one, yin and yang, with the idea of the tides coming and going. And the moon brings that aspect to this chakra. And because of the male and female union, the second chakra has long been associated with the yin and yang principles. It has the six-petaled flower, as I said, and it's been associated with lightness and letting go. It's used as an antidepressant working on this part of your body, and it increases cheerfulness and creates a happy environment. And some other stones that are associated with it are the tiger's eye, the agate, the amber, and again, it's located in the area of the lower pelvis. And it wants this part of your body, the second chakra, is the part of you that wants you to feel attractive and to seek pleasure and to live life fully and to live in your emotions fully. And if somebody's overly emotional, they might be out of balance in this chakra. And the other energies associated with it are sensuality, emotions, relationships, and creativity because of that watery aspect to it. And the seat of the soul governs our sexuality, which is what this chakra is, the seat of the soul. And though we also get reactions and hunches, we liberate our soul to fulfill its life plan through the power of the second chakra. And the second chakra, remember the first one helped you find security. The second chakra helps you find your own place in the world. And again, it has to do with the dual nature of existence, this idea of polarities, of yin and yang and male and female, and the ebb and flow of polarities and opposites attracting. And also with the idea of longing and the primal urge of one to merge into two. And with our dogs, this is an interesting area of the body to look at, the chakras of the second chakra, because many of our pets are spayed and neutered. Many of our pets will never reproduce. Many of our pets will never have that opportunity to find this kind of union that the second chakra is long known for. And in our horses, of course, many of the male horses are gelded, and the female horses, mares, never really have foals. So it's an interesting thing to look at this in terms of our pets, because many pets do have a low vitality in their second chakra. And it's an important thing to address because we don't really think of our pets as sexual beings unless, of course, we're breeding dogs or cats or horses. And it's important that we recognize this aspect of them because it is the beginning of the Kundalini force, where the male and female energies of the body come together, the right and left sides, and swirl around and work their way up the spine with that Kundalini energy coming out at the top of the head. So it is an important area of your animal, and it's, you have that root chakra for safety and security, but to find your own place in the world with the second chakra is also important. And if your horse is having trouble in the pasture with other horses, or if your dog's not getting along with other dogs in the house or cats, this could be an area that may need a little attention. The ultimate balance of the body and mind comes from the second chakra because, again, it's that idea of the duality of nature, of the yin and the yang, and the male and the female. And it includes the sacrum, the hips, and the pelvis, and also sensation of pleasure and desire. And as I said, it's the seat of emotion in the body. And these unions of yin and yang and right and left come together to create ultimate balance and a sense of bliss and happiness in the body and in the mind and the emotions. So it's really important to think about the second chakra in relationship to our pets. And again, it's associated with the color orange. And again, if your animal, if you think he's having it or she is having a dysfunction in this area, you can just try an essential oil or letting him breathe a freshly opened orange would also be helpful. You could get him some treatment with Reiki or craniosacral therapy or Tellington tea touch for that area of his body. And certainly we will be talking more about Reiki after this episodes of Conversations with a Corgi wrap up when we're talking about chakras, because it is a natural way to flow right into a conversation about Reiki. So the second chakra, again, is the base chakra associated with sexuality, the sexual organs, the pelvis, the sacrum, and with creativity and that vital force in your body and in your aura and in your being that allows you to bring forth and generate new feelings and thoughts and emotions. If you're overly emotional, this could be an area of the body that needs some addressing. And if you are lacking in joy, this is another area of the body that might need to be addressed. So, and again, it's associated with carnelian and the sense of melissa and orange. And I wish you could smell the melissa because it's really different than what I thought it would smell like when I got it. And it is sort of floral, but sort of soapy. It's a different scent. It's hard to describe. But anyway, Tristan's here wearing his orange, which we only had in Halloween colors today. So that's the second chakra. Tomorrow we'll be moving on to the solar plexus, which is a chakra most people are familiar with. It's in the center of your body. Many important associations with that area. And today we're in the front garden. The closest I have to orange flowers are these beautiful yellow sunflowers. We'll be here tomorrow because the next chakra is also associated with yellow. So look into chakras as a way to work with some dysfunction in your animal's lower half. If your cat or your dog is having trouble balancing, then this is an area that might need to be addressed. And certainly I see plenty of horses that have dysfunction in their hips and their sacrum and their stifles. And these bottom two chakras, the root and the base chakras, may be out of balance. It's just another additional thing to look at. And a lot of people talk about the energy being disrupted in these outer chakras, creating a physical dysfunction where you see your horse limping a little bit or dragging one hind leg or having trouble with the stifle, or you've got a dog with that subluxing patella in the hind leg. These two areas may need to be addressed. And it's interesting that when we spay and neuter our pets, which is an important thing for a lot of them, the surgery is pretty simple, and my sister can do them in just really a few minutes. Sometimes the spay is a little more complicated, especially on a little kitty. But when they're doing this procedure, the animals are upside down with their legs out to the sides. And of course, we have to do this in order to do a good surgery. But the interesting thing is that often with the hind legs being open like that, which is not a normal, comfortable position for our pets, sometimes they can develop dysfunction in their pelvis and in their stifles just from the surgery, even if all goes well and everything's perfect. So it's really important to address this area of your pet's health and wellness because there can be a lot of issues stemming from this area, and certainly treating the chakras is not going to necessarily repair your horse's stifle problems or your dog's subluxing patella, but it's an important part to think about when you're having that work addressed in those areas in order to keep the balance back there and maintain it for a long time, which is why I work with chakras and I use a pendulum to do that. So I don't know if you can hear the woodpecker. He's pretty loud this morning. Anyway, this is Sally Morgan and Tristan Corgi here for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi, where we've been talking about the second chakra this morning, which is the base chakra, the abdominal chakra, between your navel and your pubic bone. And on our pets, sometimes we see dysfunction here as a result of spay, neuter, having puppies, having foals, breeding late in life, not breeding at all. Many issues can lead to trouble in the second chakra. But it's also associated with joy. So have a good day today and enjoy your pet. And we will be back tomorrow for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi, where we'll be looking at the solar plexus. Got that Corgi music, Biss. We're sliding down the hill. I think Tristan's ready to go out and have his snack because he always gets a snack after Conversations with a Corgi. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a nice day.